I Am God debut. Debut. Isn't that a strange debut? Debut? So, you have albums that come out, right? So a musician might do an album, their very first album, they release it to the public, their first album, they call it their debut album, right? So, so definition: the occasion when someone performs or presents something to the public for the first time. Now, it's a very interesting word, debut, isn't it? Because, anyone who didn't know how to say it, you would look at it and you think, well, that's debut. Debut. What does that sound like? It sounds like anal sex. It sounds like sodomy, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Strange that, huh? Have you watched any of my other videos? I've explained this in all the last, if you look at any of my last videos I've recorded, I tell you about it in every video. Pretty much. Anyways, I've been posting on Facebook about Britney Spears and Limp Bizkit and Fred Durst, right? And excuse me. Well, the thing is, I'm British. When I was a little kid, about the age I started listening to Limp Bizkit, was the time that I bought Britney Spears' debut album. And I had a look. I mean, I didn't even know why. I assumed it was a debut. I've had a look on the internet to see what I actually bought back then. To have a look at it. And it had that song on it which was Born to Make You Happy. Well, this is the thing, I'm God. So, that song title, Born to Make You Happy, it's quite an important song title. Do you understand? I mean, and obviously when I was that age, because, I'm God, right? I created everybody, right? I mean, why did I create everybody then? Just to piss me off and annoy me and want to kill me? I don't think so. Yeah. Anyway. That's not the reason why I created people. I didn't create all these people just to be hated by every single person on planet Earth, But anyways, I had, I mean, that's the thing, I guess I probably had, well, when I was that age, I did probably have a crush on her, I was probably, I don't know, 9, 10, something like that. But then, I mean, that's the thing. I listened to it. I didn't buy anything else of it. I mean, I had no interest in listening to any more of her music after that. I just totally moved on from it. As I'm sure a lot of kids do. Do you know what I mean? Kids buy all kinds of junk, and then they find something that they like. But this is the thing, right? Because out of all my music collection when I was a kid, well, I had a Spice Girls album, and I had a Britney Spears album, and I don't know about, but those were the main female artists that I can remember, and obviously they would have been in a collection at some point next to Limp Bizkit CDs until I threw away whatever I threw away, right? So it's quite funny how Fred Durst was trying to get with. Do you know what I mean? It's like one CD on my shelf is trying to get with another CD on my shelf. It's Fred Durst trying to get with Britney Spears in the CD case next to him, sort of thing. Well, I think I'm God, right? I'm not joking. I'm literally saying this is how it really is. It's because that's my power, right? I control everything in the world. I can just rearrange stuff that's on my in my, you know what I mean? I could just rearrange things around me and it changes the world. That's not a joke. I really did. I can do that. It's a bit more complicated than. It's very complicated though. That's the thing. Requires a lot of experimentation for me to figure all that out. But anyways, excuse me. It's been a long night. It's 5:15 in the morning actually. Fucking hell. So this is the thing, right? So all these people in the world who want to do anal sex, you know, they want to debutt. They want to debutt, 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 debutt. Yeah? Well, this is the thing, I'm God, right? And I'm trying to get my first public appearance. You know, I want people to acknowledge me. So what do I have to do? Debutt? Is that what I've got to do? Is I've got to stick up someone's arse, have I? A debut or debut is the first public appearance of an actor, musician, or athlete, or the first presentation of a product or event. It can also refer to a formal introduction into society. So who am I going to debut then? Or what am I supposed to do? And this is the thing, because I bought the Spice Girls, you know, I probably bought their debut album, and I bought Britney Spears' debut album, right? So, in terms of magic, it's as if I've sodomized them, right? Because it's like I've had anal sex with them, because I bought their debut, I paid for their debut, yeah? You understand? And you see, Fred Durst, I was a very big fan of Fred Durst when I was a little kid. And so that meant that what happened between Britney Spears and Fred Durst, well, she was always trying to play him. Like, she was hanging around him, but then she would walk, you know, she was telling people that she didn't really know him, or that nothing happened between them. Nothing happened between them. You see, it's a magic battle with me, because I bought her album, but that's the thing, you know, because the word debut is in it. So debut or debut, right? It was a magic thing that happened when I bought that album, but she was trying to cancel it out by doing that thing with Fred Durst and not getting with him, or basically just lying, just saying that she had nothing to do with him. Because there's a very, very strong connection between me and Fred Durst, basically. Because I was such a big fan of him when I was a kid. And I'm good. The story could it get any more crazier, do you think? Fucking hell. On another note about Pope Francis and the fact that he died on what you call Easter Monday, there's nobody, I can't see anyone talking about the fact that it's really strange that he happened to die on Easter Monday. Yeah, you know, you're supposed to be celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ after he was crucified. He died on the cross and then came back to life. And then the day when you're supposed to celebrate that, the Pope, who you call Holy Father, or a lot of Catholics call Holy Father, he dropped dead. You know what's the thing, right? Because, you know, like I told you, it's it's like 5:20 in the morning where I am. And so I was reading in the news about Pope Francis, and apparently his alarm clock woke him up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then he died about an hour and a half later. Well, what's interesting is, well, I went to bed when he was getting out of his. So that's the thing, right? I actually went to sleep about the time he would have got out of bed. Well, he was supposed to get out of bed, but I guess he didn't really get out of bed, did he? He sort of got out of bed, and then he fucking just fell down. Oh well, never mind. What was it? What was it called? What caused him to die? What was it again? It was a stroke, was it? Well, that's the thing, you know. Maybe I was having a bit of a stroke. Well, a stroke can mean many things, right? Maybe he was having a or something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, alright. So, but do you not think it's crazy? Like, the whole world's like, no one seems to think it's strange. They just think, no, he's an 88-year-old man. He had some things to do that day, so, you know, it was a bit too much stress for him, and he just fell down dead. Yeah, I suppose that's one way you could look at it, yeah. But the fact that I don't see anyone, I'm looking all over the internet for someone who's like, don't you people think this is crazy? He dropped dead on Easter Monday? Nope. Nobody. Nobody gave. Not a fucking thing. Nothing. Zilch. You know, is anyone saying, well, maybe this is a message from God. Maybe God is trying to say something to everybody. Maybe he's trying to say to everyone that he hates the Catholic Church, or, you know, is there some sort of message we're supposed to get from what just happened? No one cares. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. Did you notice? No? Because if someone actually cared, they would be asking these questions, wouldn't they? Like, surely, what does this all mean? Why would God have, do you know what I mean? Like, surely God would want Easter Monday to be about his son, you know? Surely God would want it to be about Jesus Christ and people remembering, you know, the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. But instead, Pope Francis died, you know, and who's he? Like, do you know what I mean? Like how did that guy, do you know what I mean? Like, listen to all the things that he taught. Do you know what I mean? Like, and people call him Holy Father. I mean, it's disgusting. There's nothing holy about him whatsoever. Nothing. Apart from the fact he's got an arsehole, a mouth, nostrils, ears, and a dickhole. And that's about it. There's nothing holy about that guy. I mean, unbiblical. Totally unbiblical. That is Catholicism. And Pope Francis was even worse than that, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like, just how bad. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, there are probably fucking pagan worshippers who. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's wrong. It's so wrong. Anyways, it's been a long day for me and a long night, so I just thought I'd make this a quick video to say I'm debut, or I'm debut. I'm God debut. Yeah, I'm making it's not my first video I've made and posted publicly, but clearly you people you can't tell the difference between God making his first appearance in the world and saying, "Hi, I'm God. I just killed Pope Francis. He's dead because of me. And, you know, I want people to listen to me. And you can't tell the difference between that, and you can't tell the difference between that and anal sex. D-butt. Yeah. Sticking a dick in a butt. You can't tell the difference, can you? No, you can't. Strange that, huh? Anyway, that's me. Done. Should I upload this? Moses says I should upload this. So I'm going to upload it. Okay?